Well, it's going to be hard to work on your car if it's not in the shop.
You want me to go get it? Okay, I'll go get it.
YouTube, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back. We're here to have a good time screwing around with the Chevelle today. If you hadn't noticed, she got a car. And
Yes, I did.
Suddenly my cars go that way and that way, out of the way to make room for doing stuff on her car.
The only reason is because you surprised me with something.
That's not the point. The point is, my car's not done, my other car's not done, and here we are working on your car. Shocker. But you know what? As the old saying goes, happy wife, happy life, and we have a happy life because I have a happy wife. Anyway, moving on. Some of the things we got to look at today and we're going to start working on is she wants to go racing. Obviously, we're not building a full-on race car here. We're building a street hot rod that can go have some fun at the track and do a little bit of, you know.
Damage.
No damage. Damage is bad. But you can have some fun. Don't know what to expect from the car. I don't think it's going to be super fast, which is great for her to learn on. Eventually, I'm sure it'll get spruced up a bit. But there's a few things we got to address to make sure that the car will pass tech. If you didn't watch the last video, things that are an issue on this car as far as tech goes is you're not in the front. Get over this way. There you go. They want to see your pretty face. Yeah, exactly. The fuel system needs to be addressed because it's all rubber lines front to back, and we've got to get rid of most of that for an alternative that is tech legal. We'll talk more about what I got to do that here in a minute. Some parts hiding over there on the table. Moving on.
Transmission leak.
The transmission leak. We're gonna clean up the bottom of the transmission, and then let it sit a little bit and see if I can identify where the leak's coming from. It's not a horrible leak, so we might be able to get away with ignoring it depending on how bad it is. But I got to clean off all the residue and try and figure out what is actually leaking. Then the battery tray. We got to fix the battery tray so that the battery's properly secured. While I'm at it, I also need to look at the electrical system because we have a battery drain. We can't leave the battery connected. Otherwise, it drains it to a dead battery overnight. So we got to look at that. The neutral safety switch. Got to install a neutral safety switch.
Big hole.
The hole in the firewall. We're going to put a cover over the hole in the firewall, and a couple other little things that we'll get to include the first part that she bought for her car because she wanted to make it her own, and what better place to start than the right at your driver's fingertips. So what do you want to start with?
What do you mean?
Which fix or repair or change or upgrade do you want to start with?
Well, you were just saying what I got myself.
Yeah, well, I know, but we got all this stuff to do. What do you want to do first? Because you're going to have to do a lot of the work here. This is your car. Well, I will help, but you got to do the work.
Well, the first thing that we need to address that I think is key is the battery.
Okay, so we will start with the battery tray. Well, give me just a minute, and I'll grab a few things, get out of the way, and we'll figure out what we got to do with that. All right, so the reason the battery is an issue is because...
Why are you kicking tools?
It wasn't supposed to go all the way over there. Anyway, you can go get it. The reason the battery is an issue, so yeah, you can see it, is for NHRA spec, your battery has to be properly secured, can't come out of the car. And I imagine what they're going to do is they're going to grab this little handle right here, and they're going to yank on the battery, and it has to stay in the car. So obviously we have a little bit of an issue. It does have the clamp on it. So we got to pull this battery out, find out if it's just the wrong size battery for the battery tray, or if the battery tray actually has an issue that needs to be fixed.
I'm going to start taking the battery out.
There you go. So because of our battery drain, I don't have the positive cable on super tight, so I can just twist that one off. But we are going to get the negative out of the way. So that should be good. You should be able to give it a good... There you go. All right. Now we go ahead and you can get the battery out of the car.
No, I can't.
Oh, yeah, because that's through there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just rip wires out. Don't worry about that.
Oh, wires are overrated. It shouldn't have been through the handle anyway.
The ground?
Yeah. It should have been around the handle. But, all right. Leave it out of there.
Leave it out. Leave it out.
So, oh, there's our issue right there. That's easy.
It was just
See?
too big.
No, you see this? These? They're
Yeah.
supposed to be bent in so that they hook on the back of the battery.
Well, why is it bent the other way?
I don't know, but that's the problem.
Well.
That just means we need to take the battery tray out and get those tweakered in the right direction. So we're going to go ahead and get the battery tray pulled out. There's nothing exciting about watching us pull a battery tray out. It's a couple of bolts. We'll get it adjusted and yeah, move on to the next thing. Okay, so Paige got the battery tray out of the car, piece of cake, and I don't know how well you saw it when it was in the car, but the issue is that these little portions right here are bent straight up and actually towards the outside. This is intended to catch the back of the battery. So when you take your battery, which has a lip right here, the same on both sides, another lip right there. When it goes into the battery tray, it sits in there. You see that on the back side, these are supposed to be bent in so that they catch in that lip, and they're not. And on the front side, this mount pushes in on the battery so that it pushes it against those rear lips, and that's what clamps it securely to the battery tray in the stock format. All we really need to do is take and bend those back in. Now, to bend these back in, I'm going to use a good old-fashioned adjustable wrench, and I'm just going to not this adjustable wrench because it doesn't want to tighten up the rest of the way. That one's kind of, let's see, will that one get there? There we go. So take the adjustable wrench, slide it over the edge like such, and bring it back over. Oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a hold of these all the way. There we go. So I think the way these were originally is I think it was bent in with a hook back out, so it was kind of a rolled edge. And I don't know, I don't think I can get to that with the adjustable wrench, but let's keep tweaking. Worst we can do is screw it up royally and then have to unscrew it up. Right?
Yeah.
Almost. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So it needs to bend down a little bit further. So I gotta get those bent down just a little bit further and then try and make sure that that edge is curled a little bit or rolled so it doesn't have any sharp edges pushing into the battery. And then the battery tray will be fixed. We'll show you what it looks like when it's done, but it'll be more of the same of what I'm doing. All right, we're fixed up. Combination of adjustable wrenches for doing the sheet metal grabbing, a little bit of small ball peen and pry bar, and we've got a couple of nice little S-bends going on right there with the top hooked back so we don't have any edges going into our battery. So now when we put the battery in the tray, you see it drops right into that hook region of the battery. And on the other side, I'll put the actual hold down in. And as you tighten the hold down, because it's on a sloped surface, what it does is it actually pushes the battery this direction into those little hooks on the backside. So once that's tight, those little hooks are pressed in there, and this battery is now affixed to that battery tray a whole lot tighter than I can try and separate it here, and probably more than sufficient for the requirements that we actually need to meet. We'll get the battery tray put back in the car, but before we do that, Paige is going to clean it up and put a fresh coat of black on it so that it looks nice going back in, because we're going to try and make things look good that we touch on this car as we go along the way. Otherwise, we'll have to do it again later, which probably going to happen anyway. So what you got?
So this is the original catch can, and we have to switch it out because what's in it right now is a Coors Light bottle, and that's not gonna pass specs. So, but since this came with the car, we're going to check and see if there's any leaks in it, to see if it is usable. So I'm gonna fill it up with water and see what happens. But it's gonna come out that full.
So you have to plug that. Here, I'll hold. About half full. Alright, wipe that water off the top. Ow, that was my finger underneath. Alright, so you can take it and flip it over. Oh, okay, so the cap has
Cap has a hole.
A hole in it. Where is that coming out of the cap?
Right there, that little hole. It's like a breather hole.
Well, that might be exactly what it is.
That's
it probably is.
That's
probably
a breather
vent.
hole.
Okay, so put your finger on the breather hole, and then so it doesn't drain out of that. Okay, now you can cap that in, move it around, and see if it's weeping out anywhere.
I don't know if that's coming from me. Nope, that's coming from something else. Wait a minute, I don't know if I dried it all the way, hang on. Let's try that again. No. Oh, it's coming from the actual cap.
Okay, I'm not too
But
concerned with that.
that's not a really big concern because fluid shouldn't actually get up that high. So far there's nothing except for the cap. So this is usable.
Oh, all over the shop floor. What'd I tell you about peeing in the shop? God. So how's that going?
So far, so good. I mean, sooner or later, we're just gonna order a new one.
Yep. Aren't you going to put a coat of paint on that before you actually tighten it up?
Why didn't you say anything?
Well, you were supposed to just make sure that it fit in the car.
Well, I wanted to put it together. So yes, I'm gonna take it out so we can add a coat of paint to it. Yes.
But it fits.
But it fits.
All right, well, make sure your puke tank goes in and doesn't get in the way of anything. Or your recovery tank.
Recovery tank. So it should go in like this. Is that the way it goes? Does it just slide in? Does it? Ah.
Not quite. There, the nipple's got to be.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Not gonna work?
I don't know. I mean, sure. Might have to. No, I think it goes the other way.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Might have to put some zip ties on it.
Yeah, we might put a security zip tie around there just to
Hold
secure
it in place.
So,
But take it off.
take it off. Got to get a coat of paint on that, and while that dries, we'll move on to the next thing.
And I brought the list out here.
Oh, snap. All right, so one dilemma if you're doing something similar to what we're doing here. The new era radiator that's in here, this cold case?
Yeah.
Yeah, cold case radiator. Whoa, sorry about that. The overflow nipple coming off the radiator uses 3/8 line. It's a nipple sized for a 3/8 line, and the nipple on the factory recovery tank, as you can see, is itty bitty. Probably for a 3/16 line, or maybe probably a 1/4 inch line. So I will need to get probably like an air hose fitting, splice fitting, that'll go from like a 3/8 down to a 1/4 hose, and get some line that will actually clamp up on there. Little stuff, trip to the hardware store, but it will keep us from doing the final install and hookup of this tank today, because not going to the hardware store today.
Whoa.
All right, moving on. What's next? Oh,
Right.
she just finished painting the bracket, so
Yeah.
we can't. Until the bracket dries, we can't put that in. It's back with the battery tray, waiting to have paint dry.
Well,
Moving on.
I did get the list to make sure that we did cover everything. I'm not going to mark off the radiator yet because obviously we need to go to the hardware store, so it's still in yellow.
Auto parts store
Auto parts store.
and maybe hardware store. I might have to do both to make it work, but we'll make it
okay
work.
with that.
Of course you are.
So I'm going to mark off the battery because the battery is.
No, you can't mark it off until it's installed and
But
checked.
I can change it to yellow because
We don't have to buy anything.
we don't
Yeah.
we don't have to buy anything, but it's just installed. It's just installed. Battery is just installed.
Don't check it until we put it in, and
Oh
then we
my
might be able to just cross it off the list
goodness.
altogether.
Okay, so before we do one thing, we're going to head inside of the car and we are going to do the neutral safety switch and the seat belts.
Seatbelts and neutral safety. Okay. Which one do you want to do first?
Seat belts.
Of course.
So you can't take it back.
Well, those you can do without my help.
Okay, let's do this.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. Welcome to the inside of the car.
You want to tell us what you're doing?
I'm going to install Cole seatbelts in my car.
Yeah, of course you are.
I need
All right. While she's chasing some tools here, seat belts. Again, a little insider information here. Seatbelt bolts are not regular bolts. They are a specialty bolt with a shoulder on them that is a larger diameter than the thread size. And the reason for that is so that you can tighten this bolt all the way up, and there's a place for your seatbelt buckle to slide up and down. Can you give me a piece of the seatbelt? I need a piece of a seatbelt and I can show you. That'll work. So when your bolt goes in, your seatbelt can move around on there and it can pivot and turn without the bolt being impacted, so that it's, you know, doesn't bind up, so that you can move your seatbelt around. It is a specialty bolt. If you look up seatbelt bolts, you will find seatbelt bolts for Chevys, and you can have that back. I guess you don't need that bolt. You got a couple?
Nope, I got 2.
For Chevys, the best price I could find on seatbelt bolts was from Jegs, and it's a part number 90375. It is the 64 to 66 GM model seatbelt bolt. So different cars use different size bolts, and they may vary a little bit in diameter and head size, but make sure if you're doing seatbelts, you get seatbelt bolts, because if you use regular bolts, you're going to clamp up your seatbelt and it's going to be super annoying and bind up, and constant movement of the seatbelt can actually cause the bolt to come loose and you won't even know it. So don't worry about adjusting it.
I'm not. I'm wondering which way I want it to go.
Oh, there's a normal procedure. There's a specific way it's supposed to be installed.
That's what I'm looking at.
No, it looks like you're just wearing it like a belt.
No, either I want to pull it like this,
No,
or I want to pull it like this.
it has nothing to do with which way you want to pull it.
This is how I determine it.
No, it has to be installed a certain way.
Which way?
The buckle goes on the on the outside,
Why?
because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Why? Why can't I have it this way? Fine. I'll put the buckle on this way, and I'll use my right hand. Even though my left hand, I like the way it feels. Okay.
Yeah.
On this side. And I'm hoping that... I don't think that's
the
right.
The adjuster's on the other side. No, the adjuster... I'm sorry. Look, it
is the way I want
it. It has to do with the adjuster. No, because it's opposite on this side. It's not a matter of one side versus the other. It's the adjuster. You want the adjuster tail to pull to the center of the car, so that the tail is never hanging out.
So you're not hitting your door?
No, well, it's so the tail doesn't hang out and get caught in the door.
Oh. So
Yeah.
that's why I was asking why.
Yeah.
But you didn't want to give me an answer. You wanted to argue with me.
I wasn't arguing with you.
And I'm assuming that these holes in the floorboard is where it goes.
Yeah, there should be a threaded hole right there,
and
that bolt fits right down into.
Yes.
And there's another one right here that goes in the other side.
Okay.
So, and you'll need a 13/16.
13/16.
And if you can get a socket on it, you can use a socket. Otherwise, you'll have to use a wrench.
And how tight do I want to make it?
All the way tight.
All the way tight?
All the way tight. That's what's special about the seatbelt bolt.
That's what's special about the seatbelt bolt?
Yep, because the seatbelt rides up. You didn't listen to anything I told them, did you? I explained this,
Yes,
and she didn't listen to any of it. I don't think so.
Maybe.
I don't think so. Anyway, what we're talking about here for the seatbelt bolt.
Oh my gosh. What did you get me?
Push the button on the back of the ratchet.
I did. Maybe I didn't.
Well then.
Why did you give me this one?
Because the seat's right there, and I didn't know what your clearance was going to be. Trust me, on this side,
What is this? What? You know what this reminds me of?
Don't. No, this is not an X-rated show.
No! It reminds me of the lamp off of Pixar. Boing, 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 boing. Like, that's what it reminds me of.
Would you put the seatbelt bolt in?
I'm putting the seatbelt bolt in.
All right, so right here, you don't want this to get caught under the edge right here.
And it was.
And that's what can cause it to get tight, and it's going to twist it around. You want to make sure that your seat belt is up on the actual shoulder of the bolt, because now once it tightens down, it will be able to turn freely on the bolt.
And it wasn't turning freely, so that means I didn't.
You had it caught underneath.
I had it caught. Okay.
Make sense?
Got it.
There.
See, I didn't strip anything.
I didn't say you did. I just said
Yeah, you did. You said you're making me nervous.
Making you nervous.
Okay, why is it getting tight, but it's not even...
That's fine.
Okay.
Tighten the bolt up. The seatbelt's not going to get
Ow!
pinched. The seatbelt's going to be free. Just make sure it's not caught under that lip.
Well, that's a little hard to do.
Don't push the socket all the way down.
It's...
Do you need help?
No, you got me a tool that moves every which way.
Then go get another one. You know where the toolbox is.
You're supposed to set me up for success. Not success. You set me up for failure on camera.
We'll be back with seatbelt bolts installed eventually.
Hi. I can't buckle my seatbelt holding the camera.
Figure it out. Make one hand work.
I got seatbelts now. Cole's making me do this with one hand. Ta-da! Now I gotta go fast. I gotta go fast. I got a safety belt. I gotta go fast, and you can't stop me.
And this is why we're keeping a low power engine in this car for a while, because
No.
yeah, it can be a little interesting.
Okay.
So seatbelts are in.
So next, I know
And
that
the passenger side I installed, so I am concerned for my own safety. I made sure it's good and tight.
So I did say seatbelt and
What was it?
the neutral safety switch, but I'm gonna
Okay.
not do that.
Changing it up on.
I'm gonna change it up like I do,
That sounds about right.
and we're gonna install the thing I bought.
Oh, but first you need to go put a coat of paint on the backside of the recovery tank bracket.
It's already on both sides.
Have you already painted both
Yeah.
sides? Okay, then
Yeah.
I guess we can move on to the other thing.
Yeah.
You want to show everybody?
Yeah. So Amazon provided.
Good old Scamazon.
Yep. And this is a Grants, right? Grants?
I don't know.
Is it
I don't
Grants?
remember what brand you bought.
I think it was Grants.
I don't think it's a Grant.
I don't remember. But I bought myself a new steering wheel.
A shiny new steering wheel.
Shiny new steering wheel. So we're gonna install this instead. And look, it even has a little horn. Beep, 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 beep. So we're gonna install this next.
All right.
Yeah.
That means I need to get out different tools.
Yeah.
Because we got to get the factory steering wheel removed, and seeing as the horn buttons are already out of it, it should be a pretty easy removal. Pulling the steering wheel, unless we run into a problem that has to be solved, I won't make you watch that, because pulling the steering wheel is pulling the steering wheel, and if you want to know how, there's probably plenty of tutorials out there, and we're not going to do it the right way anyway. So yeah.
Oh, and I also got the extender, right?
The adapter.
The adapter.
Yeah, because going to an aftermarket steering wheel on a factory column, you have to run an adapter for it to bolt up right. So we're going to get the factory one out of there, and then we'll catch up with you putting the new one on.
Yeah.
All right, factory steering wheel is off. I kind of went caveman on it, and I'm also got to stop that. And I used a 3-jaw puller to get it off there. I know. If I had a proper steering wheel puller, it would have been easier, but we got there. Now, pretty lady gets to install her new steering wheel.
No, gotta install the adapter first, then the
Yeah,
steering
but
wheel.
it should go pretty quick.
Should.
Nope.
No.
Yep, we need that piece first.
Like that.
Turn it a little bit so it slides on the splines.
Oh, there we go. Now this piece that had the hoe, and then this piece.
Focus.
Focus, focus. Now we'll put the nuts in.
Oh, those are bolts.
Or bolts
Mhm.
in.
Other way. There. I'm turning it the wrong way.
Well, it's not going that way.
It's because of your nails.
Really? I can function with nails. Can you?
Yep. See? They work just fine. So, while she's doing that, something I will point out is if you go to an aftermarket steering wheel on a old Chevy factory column, the cover ring they come with is a larger diameter than the column. It's just what we're going to have to live with for now. Eventually we are going to replace this column with an aftermarket tilt column. So it'll be fine. It covers the gap. It'll work. You got those?
Yeah. I was a little iffy right there, so.
A little?
A little. Just a little. Little iffy.
Yeah. Okay, before you go too tight, hold on. Just snug.
I gotta put, I know. I'm just doing snug. I gotta put,
Now you don't want to put that nut on there yet.
not yet.
No, you want to go get your wheel and see if your wheel's going to sit square, because right now is your chance to pull that whole thing off and click it by 1 or 2 teeth in either direction to try and straighten up your steering wheel. Because right now your wheels are straight forward, so you want your steering wheel to be straight up, right?
Yes.
This is where you get to adjust it. So you want to make sure, if you look at the bolts here, you've got one top center, bottom center, right?
Yeah.
So you want to get that same thing on this ring. So you slide the whole thing out and hold that. This piece can be rotated.
Okay.
So you want to get to where you have both top center and bottom center.
Jesus Christ.
It's just a little bug.
Top center, bottom center. So this goes.
Yeah, and then clock your horn. And jam it all the way back on there. Okay. Now your steering wheel should line up with these 2 holes, right?
Yes.
And then the other holes should line up. Does it line up all on all holes?
Yeah.
There you go. Now you can put the center nut back on. Aren't you glad I had to do that? What about the washer?
I would have figured it out when my steering wheel was like this. You know?
Yeah. You don't ever want to forget the lock washer on your steering.
Why?
Why? Because if that comes loose and your steering wheel comes off, oh, you're in for a ride.
Oh, buddy.
You're in for a ride. And not a fun one.
Where'd you put this tool?
Where'd you put it?
No, where'd you put it?
You had it. It's over here. I got it.
I'm also gonna need an IKEA tool.
No, because you have to use the screws that came with the steering wheel.
Oh. You said I had to use these ones.
No, I said that's what they're for.
Oh.
Doesn't mean that that's the ones you have to use. You want to use the ones that came with the steering wheel because they're a different type of bolt.
Okay.
Good. Now you need your bolts for your steering wheel.
Yeah. Look and see, it came with an IKEA tool.
Yeah, but we probably want to use a better one, so get one of those out of there. We don't want one. We don't want that soft, crappy Allen wrench to strip out. See if one of these is the right size. Don't lose them.
My goodness. No.
No. Okay, and what about this one?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. This is where you gotta be careful. You don't want to slip and scratch your wheel.
I'll just return to Amazon.
Good old borrowing it from Jeff Bezos.
Yay. So, put the top screw in.
Alright. Just hand snug that one so it's not too, don't go tight with it.
I won't.
The rest of them, we're going to add just a tiny bit of Loctite so that they don't vibrate loose. This is a good old Blue 220.
Ooh, I gotta use Loctite?
And like I said, it'll come out quick. You don't have to really do any squeeze, just tilt it up. A tiny bit more than that. But good job with the control. There you go.
You know, this is supposed to be like easy,
This is easy.
not time consuming.
Now, you are forgetting a piece though. How does the horn button stay on?
I don't have my horn button. I don't have my horn button.
It's a good
You
thing.
didn't say anything. You
Hey.
gave me Loctite and everything.
You're the one putting it together.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, you gotta take them all back off and do it again.
Yeah. I know, I'm boring.
Not that you're boring, it's just how long are they gonna want to watch
I know,
the same thing?
I'm sorry.
So, when we get to all installed, between now and then, this is just gonna go really fast.
And ta-da! I got myself a new steering wheel. It's so pretty.
Good job, woman.
Yeah.
The wheel's in, and while she finished that up, dinner arrived. Yep, good old pizza. Nothing fancy like that stuff that Tony Angelo has on Stay Tuned from that place in Philly. We're not that cool. We can't get that kind of stuff out here in Guthrie, so we're stuck with good old Pizza Hut because that's what comes. So we're gonna do some munching, have a little bit of dinner, and then we'll pick up with whichever task she wants to do next. So we'll see you guys, well, for you, like that. Why is it pizza always hits the spot? No matter what, pizza always hits the spot. I love pizza. Anyway, back to the madness. Where are you at?
The battery tray is dry, painted, nice and pretty, and we're going to install it.
Ah, good. Then we can make sure that the fix works.
Yes.
So you got 3 bolts.
Yes. Okay, so all bolts are in. So Cole's gonna put the battery in for me.
Oh, I gotta heave the battery in?
Yeah, you gotta heave the battery in. Camera malfunction.
Yeah, once again, GoPro doing its GoPro things. I really need to check and see if there's a new update that fixes that problem. But for now, we gotta live with it. All right, secure your battery and find out, does the fix work?
Did Cole's fix work? And if you hear some popping, it's just our bug zapper.
Yeah, good old evening time brings out the bugs, so we got the zapper out over there helping mitigate some of that.
All right, I think it's in there.
Give her a good old yankaroo.
You ready for this? No, I don't think it's going nowhere. Now your turn because you're stronger than me.
Well, I mean, you're moving the whole car.
I mean, but...
I think it's going to pass.
Yay! We did it!
So, simple tweaking of that battery bracket on the back side there, so it locked in on the back notch on the battery, and the battery is secure. So that was a nice, easy fix. We like nice, easy fixes. Now, you got to get your reservoir mounted.
Yes.
Right in like that. Get all 3 of those bolts in, and then that will be mounted. We'll just have to get hoses for it.
And it's raining.
Is it raining?
It's raining. We're supposed to have a couple
Sounds like it.
storms pulling through tonight.
Right.
All right.
Does it still fit?
Still fits. So now all we need to do is go to the a bug just flew in Cole's face. The automotive store and get some parts for, or the hardware store, whichever
Probably
one.
both.
Probably both. But we need to find an adapter because the hose is too big.
Yep.
So that is going to be one thing that we need to do before this can be finished completely.
Okay, so because I think this video is probably bug. Got it. I think we're already running pretty good on this video. We're gonna go ahead and call it a wrap on this one. In the next one, we'll be addressing the neutral safety switch.
Neutral safety switch. The hole.
Hole and firewall.
Hole in the firewall. We need to address the firewall in the back too.
Yep.
And then the fuel line.
Fuel line. Holes and firewall-y stuff. Neutral safety switch.
Neutral safety slips,
And
firewalls, and
battery
fuel.
drain. I need to look at the battery drain.
Yes. Oh, and the transmission leak.
Okay. So we probably have two videos between all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see what the problems are.
Yeah.
But he's kind of getting cut off down there a little bit. There we go. Anyway, that's where we're at. I don't think that. What the heck kind of bug is that? It's a weirdo. I don't know. Yep, bugs are out like crazy. Man, squirrel.
We're gonna wrap it up for this video, and we will get back to you guys next time working more on this so that I can get ready to race. You did say though on the last video that you had something to tell me that you were going to tell me on the next video. So what are you going to tell me?
Oh, that thing.
Yes. So if you did watch the previous video, he did say.
So the event that we're going to go to has 2 different types of drag racing. Well, I think they're doing 3 different types of drag racing. Actually, I think they're doing some roll racing, which we're not going to be doing. And then they're doing competitive bracket style. I don't know if it's straight up bracket racing. I think there might be some heads up, eliminations, and there's also a test and tune that's running at the same time as part of the event. We will be running in the test and tune. Well, do you want to be able to run more than once?
Yes.
Okay, then you don't want to get eliminated first round because you got a red light. And we don't know.
Shut up! I'm not going to get a red light.
No, you're going to be asleep at the tree for 3 seconds.
Gosh.
Terrible. Anyway, we are going to run in the test and tune. The other piece of this,
I've been waiting for this.
It will require some road driving. This event is, I think they're doing it over 2 days. It's a drag and drive inspired event, which means not only do you have to, go and race your car, but before you can race, you have to do a 200-mile road trip.
What?
200 miles of road driving.
You said it was close.
It is close. You have to drive 200 miles. So the event is called King of the Open Road. It's at Thunder Valley on August 2nd and 3rd. I think it's 2nd and 3rd. Maybe something on the 4th on the Sunday. I think it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Maybe Saturday, Sunday. I'll have to double check the exact schedule of the event. But like a drag and drive, you have to pass all the tech for your car to compete.
And that's what we're doing.
Safety wise. And then you have to drive a 200-mile route that is provided by the event so that you can come back and then do your drag racing. So, and it's going to be a big old cruise event. There's also a car show portion of it. So if you didn't want to do any of the drag racing, but you wanted to go do the cruise portion and car show, you can do that. I don't know what the turnout's supposed to be like, but it is a drag and drive inspired event, and doing a 200-mile road trip cruise with everyone else is part of the event. So you got lots of driving to do.
So this means that you're going to be the passenger princess.
Oh yeah, for the whole thing.
And
if it breaks down, guess who's fixing it?
You. So
your car. So you better make sure things don't fall off.
That is another big reason why we got to plug that hole so you don't cook.
No, that has to be plugged for tech. So
well, even if we didn't want to do that, we just wanted to do the drag and drive.
Anyway, yeah, we got things. So
yes,
we got a road trip. We know that the car drove the 30-ish miles home when we picked it up without even a gimmick at all.
Yeah.
No issues. The things we're addressing are tech related for NHRA safety. They are not drivability issues. So I don't anticipate we'll have a problem making the road trip portion of the event. So it should be a good time.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, you're going to go do a drag and drive type event long before I ever even get a chance, because what happened? You got a car.
I got a car.
And my cars got shoved to the side. Shocker. But we're gonna go have some fun, and it's okay. I don't mind, because I know you're gonna have a good time, and that means I'm gonna have a good time. And with that, we'll see you guys on the next one.